Shalom, shalom, nation of Israel. I would like to give all praises and honors to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rikakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth, revealing through the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, that so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, as well as the speckled bird spread abroad throughout the four corners of the earth, that we are the Hebrew Israelites, the real children of the one supreme ruler Yahweh, in the name of his son Yahushua. Salutations to the hopeful elect, the Akim and the Aqua for infusing this true Shalom. This is Brother Yakanan coming to you with a message that I'm going to title something to do with escaping the bondage of the flesh. So we, as being the ones that are chosen to come and preach this gospel, preach this truth to the ones that have not returned to the other heathen nations, to our 2/3 wicked people, the Hebrew Israelites. We have to return and do the things that deliver us from being in this current bondage that we are in, living in America, which is known as Babylon the Great. And a way for us to get out of that bondage is returning in the flesh. We can't allow ourselves to remain in the flesh, because if we do, it can deter us from walking in the spirit. And walking in the spirit is the way that we are supposed to be living. The ways of the world will deceive us if we continue to walk therein. So, as I'm going to read from Romans, the 8th chapter, it says here at the top, deliverance from bondage. That can go into us being delivered from our fleshly thoughts to returning into the spirit. Turning around, walking in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, whatever it takes, as long as he put the Holy Spirit upon us, we are going to walk according to the Spirit and not to the flesh. So I'm going to start off from verse 1, and it says, there is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in the anointed Yahushua, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. So just as Yahushua did his walk, we are supposed to do that walk if the Spirit is dwelling on us. If we are a part of the hopeful elect, the 1/3, the 144,000 men that are out there prophesying on the highways and byways. So there's no condemnation for those men and those that are following the true walk, the truth in these holy scriptures, the knowledge, the truth, the understanding. If we are following those things, there's no condemnation for those that are earnestly trying to live after these scriptures and not walking after the flesh and in the spirit. Verse 2, for the law of the Spirit of life is in the anointed Yahushua, have made me free from the law of sin and death. And sin in 1 John 3 and 4, sin is the transgression of the law. Paraphrasing. Um, Let me go and get that. I don't want to butcher it. 1 John 3, verse 4. Whosoever committeth sin, transgresseth also the law, for sin is the transgression of the law. So if we continue to walk in the flesh and do the minded things of the flesh, we're continuing to walk in that sin. But if we walk in the spirit, then we are putting off the mortal thoughts and returning unto true life. And that is walking in the spirit and doing exactly what Yahushua did when he walked on the earth. Verse 3, for what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, trying to live in the flesh and trying to live in the trying to do the law, but you're continuing to live in the flesh, it's going to be extremely hard to do that. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, Yahweh sending his own son, which is Yahushua, in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for the sin condemned sin in the flesh. We all know that Yahushua, once he walked in that body, when he was known as Yahushua, he did not sin. He conquered sin. And he conquered sin in that flesh. Like I said, because we all know that he did not sin when he was here as Yahushua. Verse 4, for the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us, who walk not after the flesh, but after the spirit. So, in order for us to be righteous, we have to remain in the spirit. We can't teeter back and forth with the flesh, because this flesh desires many things, and it will, like I said, it would cause us to go astray if we are not strong in the spirit. So we have to remain in the spirit and walk after the spirit, so that we are not deterred from these earthly things. In verse 5, for they that are after the flesh do minded things of the flesh. So whatever desires you have in this flesh suit, if you are not walking in the spirit, let me continue that. But they that are after the spirit, the things of the spirit. If you have desires in this world and your flesh craves those things, it's going to make you desire it so much more when you are trying to walk in the spirit. So we have to pray with all earnest and all truth and sincerity to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, because we are in these chains of darkness, and this flesh will make us go off. So let's continue. If we are of the hopeful elect of the calling, if we are called to do this work, go out on the highways and byways and preach, to warn our people who are the Hebrew Israelites, that are spread across the whole globe, no matter what size or shape or color they are. If they resonate with these holy scriptures and they get the call and the understanding, if they hear with their ear and they understand these words, let us continue to walk in the flesh, so that we can persuade our other brothers and sisters to walk in this spirit with us and get out of walking in the flesh. Verse 6, for the carnally minded is death, but But to be spiritually minded is life and peace. So to be carnally minded, to walk after the flesh, to do the desires of the flesh, it can lead unto death. But if we walk in the spirit, like Yahushua did, it can lead into life and peace. And that is what we desire as a nation of people that are the Hebrew Israelites, the ones that truly return unto Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Verse 7, because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, need indeed can be. So the things that are of the flesh, it can't please Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. It's against his law. No, rape, rob, murder, what our people have learned from the wicked, from these other nations, from their desires, it's of a carnal mind, and it's against Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and it does not, it's not agreeable with his law, and it will never be. So we have to come out of those ways and walk in the truth and the light that leads unto peace and eternal love and a righteousness that is in the sight of our Heavenly Father Yahweh and our big brother Yahushua. Verse 8, so then they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High. You can't please them if you are having the desires of the world. Verse 9, but ye are not in the flesh, and the ones that are not going to be in the flesh are the hopeful elect, the 1/3. But ye that are not in the flesh, but in the spirit. So let me read that again. But ye are not in the flesh, but in the spirit, if so be that the Spirit of the Most High dwells in you. Now if any man have not the Spirit of the Anointed, he is none of his. So if you are not coming back into this truth, knowledge, and understanding, if you are continuing to walk in the flesh and do the mindful things of the flesh, most, either the Lord has not opened your eyes to see or open your ears to hear, but more than likely, you are not of his. You are not of those first fruits from the foundations of the earth, from the foundations of all creation. You may not be one of those, one of his. Verse 10, and if the anointed be in you, the body is dead because of sin. But the spirit is life because of righteousness. The spirit is always going to give us life. It's always going to be righteous if you are of that the first fruit, the ones that are allotted to be redeemed once Yahushua comes back, because living in this body, this corruptible body, is dead. So we have to make sure that we are living in the spirit. But if the spirit of him that raised up Yahushua from the dead dwells in you, and that's Yahweh, he that raised up the anointed from the dead shall also quicken your mortal bodies by his spirit that dwells in you. And that, like I said, that's Yahweh. He has the power, like I said, from the foundation of the earth. You are already, if we are of that hopeful elect, that chosen, we have already been elected to be quickened, so that we can return in the spirit, and then have our earthly bodies return as well. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is going to deliver us in spirit and in truth, and also in this mortal body. Our mortal bodies are going to be changed in the twinkling of an eye but we are putting on, we are doing the righteous acts now, and our spirit is going to agree with this truth. And as we walk in the spirit, so will our flesh, if we continue to depend and call upon Yahweh Bashim Yahushua and do the things that are necessary for us to live. Because Yahweh, he gave Yahushua those spirits from the beginning of all creation, and his spirit dwells in the ones that are going to come back and live according to this word, this truth, this knowledge, this understanding, these commandments. His spirit dwells in those ones, those particular bodies, those particular Israelites that are going to realize that we are indeed the children of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and that this world is not the world that he was meant to give us. So if we continue to walk and have the faith that Yahushua did, that he walked and that he did the will of the Father, if we return in the spirit, that means that Yahweh, our Father's spirit, dwells in us. Verse 12, therefore, brethren, we are debtors not to the flesh, to live after the flesh. For if ye live after the flesh, ye shall die. But if ye live through the Spirit, do mortify the deeds of the body, ye shall live. So if we put away the fleshly things, the earthly things, the things of the world, and live after the Spirit, we're going to live. But if we continue to walk after the desires of the earth, of our flesh, we're going to die. That word mortify, once we go into that word, slucking. Am I passing it? Okay. To put to death, to make, to die, destroy, render existence. By death, to be liberated from the bond of anything, literally to be made dead in relation to something. So that word mortify goes into we have to put off the deeds of the body, because if we walk in the flesh, it's dead. We are dead. So let's continue, if we are called into this truth, let's continue to walk in the Spirit so that we can escape the bonds of death. Verse 14, for as many as are led by the Spirit of the Most High, they are the sons of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Like I said, the first fruits. If we put off the flesh and we walk after the Spirit, that means we are walking in the ways of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And if we walk in those ways, we are his sons. Verse 15, for ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. So the ones like the Jews that lived in the land, the Holy Land, they did not want to receive the ones that were living out of the Holy Land, like living in other lands, because they were still accustomed to doing the things of those other nations. But we received the adoption through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because we are all children and we are all Hebrew Israelites according to the flesh and according to the spirit, the ones that come through the line of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and through the 12 patriarchs, the sons of Israel. We are all Hebrew Israelites, so we all receive that adoption. We are all of that wild olive tree that Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, the Holy Spirit, has come back and bringing us back into this truth, this knowledge and understanding. Verse 16, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. So that can't be everyone, because if you read this to a heathen of another nation, to people that's of a true another nation, they're going to buck up against this truth and tell you that these words that we are speaking, that is not true. That these holy scriptures are written by men, but not knowing that the Spirit dwelled on those men to write these truths, and it's only written unto the nation of Israel, because this is our history, our truth, our understanding, but only to the ones that truly are going to receive this knowledge, truth, and understanding. So the spirits that dwell within us, it agrees with these holy words. So that's how we know that we are the children of the Most High Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Verse 17, and if children, then heirs, just like Yahushua is. He's on the right hand side of the power, which is Yahweh. We're going to be joint heirs with him, as it says in the rest of the verse. And if children, then heirs, heirs of Yahweh, and joint heirs with the anointed, which is Yahushua. If so be that ye suffer with him, that ye may be also glorified together. Just like Yahushua went through the suffering, the persecutions, the afflictions, we have to go through those same things that he did. Slakia. Just like Yahushua went through those again, like those persecutions, afflictions, those troubled times, those his people coming up against him, the Gentile Romans, the heathens coming up against him for speaking this truth. We have to go through those same things, because we are in the revised Roman Empire. So our people are going to come up against us, and so are these other nations. But if we do the things that Yahushua did, we will be joint heirs. And if we continue to walk in the Spirit, just as he did, we will put off the mortality of our flesh. Verse 18, for I reckon that the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed to us, but the earnest expectations of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of God, and that is Yahweh. And the creature is us. We are all creatures, but Israel is a chosen people to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. And if we walk in the spirit and do the things of the spirit instead of the flesh, it's going to manifest in us that we are Hebrew Israelites. We are children of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and we will be known as sons of God because we fell away from him. We were taken from the top and put to the bottom. But if we do the things that Yahushua did, then we are sons of God. Verse 20, for the creature was made subject to vanity. We were made subject to vanity. We will do after the things of the world and not follow after Yahweh Bashim Yahushua in all truth, knowledge, and understanding. We will walk after the lust of the world, of the earth, of the heathen nations. That is what we would. That is what we did. That is what we are doing, and 2/3 of our people will continue to do that. But only the hopeful elect, the 1/3, the ones that are out there doing this truth, knowledge, and understanding, if it is of our benefit to be called, we are going to be the ones that go out there and try and we're going to be the ones that go out there and do the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Verse 20, for the creature was made subject to vanity, not willing, but by reason of him who have subject the same in hope. And that is what we're looking for. We're looking for hope through these holy words. The word being Yahushua. We are waiting patiently for this to all come to pass. Verse 21, because the creature itself, and we are those creatures, also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption. And our flesh is nothing but corruption, because it leads us astray if we do not have a strong enough spirit to put it off, to turn away from it. This flesh is nothing but bondage, and it will lead us unto death. Verse 21 again, but the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of the Most High Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. And the liberty is total freedom. It's a glorious freedom once we come back into this knowledge, truth, and understanding, knowing who we are as a people, knowing that we have to remain in the spirit and turn away from the flesh so that we can be heirs with Yahushua and be children to Yahweh. Verse 22, for we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. And that is what the hopeful elect is going through. We groan at this society, at these ways that has come upon the whole earth, because nothing in this current system is correct. We're going through all pains, suffering, persecutions, afflictions, whether it be from other family members, whether it be from friends, whether it be from the other inhabitants of the earth, the nations that compass us about. Because like I said, only 1/3 of our people, the hopeful elect, the true followers of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, the ones that are out there listening to the true prophets of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and those and I can honestly say those are the men that lead the GMS group. They are out there preaching 100% truth through these words, which are Yahweh's words, and the word of Yahweh is Yahushua. They are out there preaching 100% truth. They cut no corners, and the ones that are learning and listening to them and going out there and doing this truth, this knowledge and understanding, you could be possibly of that hopeful elect if Yahweh put that spirit on you to come back into this truth and do the work. Verse 23, for not only they, but ourselves also, the ones that are called to do this truth, which have which are Salakia, and not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves grown with ourselves, waiting for the adoption to wit and redemption of our bodies. So we are trying to turn away from the flesh so that we can be first, so that we can go back to our rightful place as being first fruits, and we grown at these the way that things are, because like I said, we are patiently waiting for that adoption so that we can be redeemed as the hopeful one, the 1/3 and the hopeful elect. All Israel is going to be saved, but right now the ones that are truly following after Yahweh Shem Yahushua, we are groaning and waiting patiently for us to be redeemed once he returns back unto us. Verse 24, for we are saved by hope, and that's what we're waiting for. We are hoping for his return to redeem us, to save us, give us salvation. For we are saved by hope, but hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doeth he yet hope for it? So if you can see something, you don't need to hope for it. What's the Salakia, faith is the evidence of things hoped for. Salakia, if I'm saying it wrong. But you brothers know what I'm trying to get at. If we believe in Yahweh Shem Yahushua, not seeing him in this current body, but knowing that we're going to be delivered and saved, that is the hope that we truly seek after. But if we see something, why do we hope for it? Verse 25, but if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. We waiting for his return to deliver us from the bondage of this flesh, because we know that this flesh desires corruptible things that will cause us to go off and to go astray and lead us into death. But if we live our lives according to the Spirit, we're going to patiently wait for his return so that we can be delivered from the adversities, the devil, which is his counterpart here on the earth is Esau Edom, the so-called white man. We're gonna patiently wait for our Redeemer, our hope, our salvation, Yahweh Shem Yahushua, to return and redeem us from the afflictions that we are going through in our current body. Verse 26, likewise the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities. For we know not what we should pray for as we ought, but the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groaning which cannot be uttered. So our spirit is going to help us get out of these troubles that we are going through, that the body makes us do. whenever you get that feeling that you're going to sin and do something wrong, that is our spirit making intercession with Yahweh Shai, because it knows it doesn't want to go off, because the body is a sin bag. It's full of sin. It wants to do wrong. But our spirit itself wants to be righteous. It wants to do just in the entire time. But with us living the way that things are, like I said, the flesh wants to, it's like a boxing match. You got the spirit versus the flesh. And sometimes the if you are truly a man of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, your spirit is going to win that battle. But if you are struggling immensely, you have to do a lot of work to make sure that your spirit is strengthened so that you can fight off these infirmities, so that the spirit can make intercession with Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, so that you don't follow after the flesh and you groan after these things that the flesh, the body wants to do. Verse 27, and he that searcheth the heart, which is the mind, and he that searcheth the heart knoweth what is the mind of the spirit. And the one that searcheth the heart is Yahweh, our Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, because he maketh intercession for the saints, and the saints are Hebrew Israelites. No matter what, like I said at the beginning, size, shape, color you are, because Israelites were scattered among all the inhabitants of the earth. So Hebrew Israelites will look like every other nation, whether it's a so-called white person, whether it's a Hamite, a Moabite, a Ishmaelite, a Ammonite, a Elamite. No matter what you are, Hebrew Israelites have been scattered across the globe of the earth. So that intercession with the saints is all over the earth, especially to the ones that are coming back into this truth, knowledge, and understanding. Verse 27 again, and he that searcheth the heart knoweth what is the mind of the spirit, because he make intercession for the saints according to the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. So we have to make sure that we are walking in the spirit and no longer walking in the flesh and doing mindful things to other flesh, because like I said, it will lead us to going off and being astray from our true power. Pretty much what Jacob has been going through, the nation of Israel has been going through, and all these captivities that we are being going through because we walked after the spirit. And in order to escape that bondage, we have to walk in we have to walk in the spirit. So I'm going to get a couple other verses regarding the flesh. Like I said, the title of this lesson I got it here is going to be Bondage in the Flesh, Overcome It. And Matthew 26:41, watch and pray that ye enter not into temptation. The spirit is indeed willing, but the flesh is weak. So we have to watch and pray to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua to deliver us from the temptations of the flesh. No matter how hard we try to walk in the spirit, the flesh that we are in is very sinful. And in order for us to conquer this flesh, we have to watch and pray to our power that he deliver us from these temptations. Galatians 5:16-17, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh, for the flesh lusts against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh. That, like I said, a box is like being in a boxing ring. The spirit and the flesh are fighting against each other, and sometimes if you are weak, your flesh wins that battle. But if you are truly walking in Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, your spirit is going to always win that fight. Verse 17 again, for the flesh lusts after the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary the one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. So you can be a man of the Lord and try to do everything that you truly desire after the spirit, but you have to continue to pray and make sure you don't go astray and walk after the things of the flesh. John 3:6, that which is born of the flesh is flesh. So things that we truly desire, that we make our gods here on this side, like our house, our cars, our children, materialistic things, those things are born of the flesh. Yeah, we want to have a life that is comfortable, but we can't make those things our gods, because those things, as well as our flesh itself, can lead us astray. John verse 3 and 6 again, that which is born of the flesh is flesh, but that which is born of spirit is spirit. So if we walk like Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, like Yahushua did, if we walk that he did, we will see the things that the flesh desires, but we won't covet those things. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 10, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we live together with him. And the ones that are walking after the spirit, those are going to be the ones on this side, the hopeful elect, the 1/3 that are going to be with him, whether we make it to the end or we punish for previous sins but come back into this truth. We're going to be the ones that walk with him and shall live together with him, because we see what this flesh can do to us and lead us astray from our power, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. Let me read that again. 1 Thessalonians 5 and 10, who died for us, which was Yahushua, that whether we wake or sleep, the ones that make it to the end or the ones that already passed away, we shall live together with him. Like 1 Thessalonians 5 and 10 again, who died for us, that whether we wake or sleep, we shall live together with him. And those are going to be the true followers of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, those first fruits, those ones that Yahweh gave unto Yahushua from the beginning of all creations. Those are going to be the ones that wake up unto the truth, the knowledge, the understanding of these holy scriptures, these words. And those are going to be the ones that live together with Yahushua and with Yahweh Bashim Yahushua once they return and redeem us from this current system. Revelation 16 and 15, behold, I come as a thief. And that's what Yahushua is going to do. The first death was the great flood. And Noah, which was a prophet of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, was giving warnings to the inhabitants but they did not listen. So just as the Lord came as a thief with that rain and saved the 8 souls, the elect at that time, which was Noah, his 3 sons, Noah's wife, and the daughter and the 3 daughter-in-laws, just as they were delivered from that destruction through the rain and the flood, is going to be like now once Yahweh Shah returns from the east on his great chariot, which is the so-called UFOs that the world has been spotting. Revelation 16:15, behold, I come as a thief blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garment, lest he walk naked, and they see his shame. So the ones that are walking naked and the ones that are going to be shamed are the 2/3 of our people, because they're not going to come back to this truth, knowledge, and understanding and walk after the ways of Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They're not going to walk in the spirit. They're going to continue to walk in the flesh, and they're going to be caught totally off guard, just like the people was in Noah's time, just like the people was in Lot's time. They're going to be caught completely off guard and destroyed with thermonuclear fire from the missiles that are going to be shot over here in America, Babylon the Great, and the concentrated laser beam fire that is going to come forth from those chariots, because they desire the things of this world, and they're going to continue to walk after the flesh. Mark 14:38, and I'll close it out with this verse: watch ye and pray. Pray to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that he delivers you from this system, this current rulership that's going to have our people be destroyed. Watch ye and pray, lest ye enter into temptation. And the flesh desires that temptation to have us going off. The spirit truly is ready, but the flesh is weak. Just like it says in Matthew 26:41, the flesh is so weak, it wants to have you go off every single time. Even the ones that are called into this truth, the flesh is wrestling with your spirit. It wants you to go off and sin. But if you have the spirit and you have the knowledge and the truth and the understanding, you're going to pray to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and you're going to watch so that your spirit is not tempted in that time. So we have to make sure that we desire the things that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has given us, which is this truth, knowledge, and understanding. I know I sound like a tape recorder when I say that, but it's all the truth. We are trying to, just like the title says, we are trying to escape the bondage, which is the flesh, and we have to make sure that we overcome it. So hopefully that was edifying to the flock. I would like to give all honor and praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rikal Kadash. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me the truth, revealing through the spirit that the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, Haitians, as well as the speckled bird spread abroad throughout the 4 corners of the earth, that may look like the other nations, but indeed go back into the children of Israel, that we are the Hebrew Israelites, the real children of the one supreme ruler, Yahweh, in the name of his son, Yahweh Shah. Salutations to the hopeful elect, the Akim and the Aquaf, who are infusing the truth. Shalom. This is Brother Yakanan coming to you with a message on how to escape the desires of the flesh. as its title, Bondage in the Flesh, Overcome It. So that is what we are doing as men that have came back into this truth, this knowledge, understanding, following after the true ways of our powers, Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. And once again, I want to give all praise to them both. Yahweh being our Father, Yahweh Shah being our Redeemer, our Savior. Salutations to and double honors to our apostles, which are the great men of GMS, who I follow with 100% truth, because they are out there preaching 100% truth. Salutations to the ones that are also following the Akim and the Akwaf, because it's almost high time for us to get out of here, and we have to remain in the spirit and come out of the ways of the flesh. So, like I said, hopefully that was edifying. Give all praise again to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rekah Gadash. Until the next time, Shalom.